Accrington Stanley at home. Mark, just how much do you just have to keep looking forward at this stage of the season?
That's all we've got to do. I think we're going to snap people's hands off to be in this position with 4 games left. You know, the harsh reality is, we're 2 points better off than a couple of teams who are just below us. 4 games to go, 2 at home, 2 away. Not how we'd have liked to have done it, sure. You know, we've the way we've picked up results hasn't been how we would have liked over the last few weeks. But you know, there's no point looking back. You can only look forward, and we've got to keep believing, like we have done and like we will do. And I fully expect this group to take the next 4 games head on and go for it.
A bit like a snooker player trying to win the final frame to clinch it. Are the final couple of wins you need to secure that playoff place going to be the hardest to get?
We'll have to wait and see. And they've proved to be, of course. But like I say, we're it's 2 from 5 for me now. Who gets in the playoffs? And you know, we're in pole position. We've got to try and stay there. You know, you can look at run-ins of other teams. You can run your own run-ins and think, right, where you got to get points. We're not about that. We're about looking after ourselves, making sure that we perform, and if we perform, get a little bit of luck that's not gone our way of late. Start being a bit more ruthless in both boxes, like we have been for 85% of the season. Then we'll do what we want to do.
Marlon's available again.
Yeah.
How big a plus is that for you?
It's a plus because he's played 40 odd games already this season, and you know, he's one of our players that people will highlight. So he becomes available, and at this stage of the season, you need as many players available as you possibly can. So good to have him back. He's been really good for us all season, you know, and it'd be good to have him back.
I know you talk about players, we talk about formations, but it does allow you a bit more freedom of choice as well.
Yeah, it does, and that, you know, that's what you need. You need the options. You need numbers. You need quality players. You don't need to be missing quality players like Marlon, like Sido. You know, so the sooner they're back into the fold, the better. And that's just where we are at the moment. Yeah.
Because you've got decent options within your squad, how difficult is it to pick a team at the moment, or do you just go horses for courses?
Yeah, it's difficult because no one's really, you know, results haven't gone hasn't been what we wanted, and we've had to change it to mix it up a little bit, change it to find a try and find that winning formula. But like I say, I've got total belief in the players that they'll get what's needed to make sure we secure a playoff position. You know, no other club's got it easy, like we haven't got it easy. But we'll just keep picking teams to try and win games. You know, certain things you'll see in opposition that you want to try and do. But you've got to be consistent, and we've tried to be that.
Looking at Accrington, how has John Coleman's departure affected how they go about things, or has it?
I think there was a bit of uncertainty for a little while. Then Paul's come in. I thought I know Paul really well. He's done a cracking job out in Ireland with Sligo. He's come in and he's started to put his stamp on it, and I know next season they'll be a lot better. He'll have time to work with his players and show them how they want to do it. You know, he was a top footballer, and I'm sure he'll be a top manager. His teams will play and they will hurt you if you're not right, and you know, that's for sure. But it's about us. You know, we're above them in the table. We've got to try and make sure that we pick up 3 points against them, like we have the following week after that, and the week after that. So I like Accrington as a club, and they've got some good players. So it's going to be tough, like every game is.
And looking at where they are in the table, mid-table, and at this stage of the season, that can be very dangerous.
Yeah, very. You know, they've got a couple of results recently. You know, they play with the freedom. You know, their front 4 will have license to go and hurt you. So it's going to be tough. We know that. We've got to make sure we keep the back door closed, but also we've got to find ways of opening them up and putting the ball in the back of the net.
How important is this game to get a bit of momentum as well going into the Crewe game next week, which looks like it could be massive?
Saturday's the most important game this season. It's where all our focus has to be, because it's our next one. Nothing different from from where we are, what we've been doing all season. You know, that we can't look to Crewe, we can't look to Bradford, we can't look to Plymouth. Saturday's the most important because it's one where we can concentrate our efforts on. It's one where we can pick up 3 points. It's one where we can go and put a little marker down for the short running that we've got left. So massive game, but you know, my players have to not be burdened by that. They have to embrace that, and they have to want to be part of it, and I know they will be.
And talking of focus on your players, obviously there's been the reported interest from Manchester United in Jack Butland. Whether that's true or not, is he the sort of level-headed character who can just deal with that anyway, if any of it's true?
Where's that come from? I've not seen that. He's not my player. He's here to do a job. He's here to help us out, and we're here to help him out. He's, you know, I think he had a little dip a couple of weeks ago. I think you've seen the response we've had from him. You know, I'm not going to talk about other clubs' players and where they might be going. Jack's a good level-headed lad who's going to be a top prospect for sure.
Injuries? How's the squad?
I think we're okay. We've got 1 or 2 aches and bumps and bruises from Monday. 2 games in sort of 3 days. But we'll see where we are. We've had a couple of days to recover. There'll be we're back to work today, and we'll see where we are. But we should be okay.
Thank you. Good luck.
My pleasure.
Do you think anyone's looking a bit tired at this stage? Because your injury record's been so good, they've played a lot of games. Haven't they?
Yeah, 1 or 2 are, John. But I don't think they're key players for us, and 1 or 2 are the ones who are tired. So we've got to look after them in training, make sure they're right. And if it's right that they don't play, then we'll make that decision. But you know, no one's that tired that they can't go out and perform. You know, we just need to just stick together. I'll freshen it up every now and again if I feel it's right to. But you know, we've just got to go full steam ahead into the next 4 games. You know, otherwise we won't do what we set out to achieve. So you know, people can. No one's too tired. No one's come and knocked on my door and said, "Gaffer, I'm tired. I can't play." You know, they're not that type, and I wouldn't expect them to be.
Yeah. If you get a result on Saturday, take a lot of the pressure off, wouldn't it, ahead of the Crewe game? And you could almost be.
Well, you know, they've got Macclesfield, I think, so everyone would expect them to win. Listen, we've got to look after ourselves. When we play, is it Crewe the week after? Then that'll be the most important game of this season. You know, so we just got to try and get 3 points on Saturday and try to do exactly the same the following Saturday.